Students, in this video lecture we are going to study the comparison between spark ignition and compression ignition engine, and also two-stroke and four-stroke engines. I am Dr. SIGAR, working as Associate Professor in Agricultural Engineering in BBD Government College, Chimanpura. First of all, we will study the difference between SI and CI engine. Full form of SI, as you all know, is spark ignition engine, and full form of CI is compression ignition engine. So the first difference is the spark ignition engine is also known as petrol or gasoline engine, as the fuel used in this engine is mainly petrol, whereas compression ignition engine is also known as diesel engine because the fuel used is diesel. The second difference between these two is, in spark ignition engine, air and fuel are mixed in proper ratio prior to entering the cylinder, whereas in compression ignition engine, air alone is inducted in cylinder and fuel is sprayed separately. The third difference is, in SI engine, carburetor is present. You all know the function of carburetor. It is a device mainly to give proper mixture of air and fuel to the cylinder, whereas in compression ignition engine, injector is used. You all know injector is used for delivering fuel at a very high pressure inside the cylinder. The fourth difference is, in SI engine it is light in weight as compared to compression ignition engine, which is heavy, because as the compression ignition engine has to work under high pressures, so the material used in making the CI engine is quite thick. The fifth difference is, the compression ratio in spark ignition engine is less than CI engine, and in SI engine it is around 5 to 9:1, whereas the CR in CI engine is 14 to 22:1. The sixth difference is, on compression stroke, the temperature in SI engine reaches about 250 degrees centigrade, whereas in CI engine, the compression stroke, the temperature reaches about 500 degrees centigrade. The seventh difference is, in SI engine, the thermal efficiency is less than that obtained in the compression ignition engine. Eighth difference is that in SI engine no fuel injection pump is present, because no injectors are present in this engine, whereas in compression ignition engine, fuel injection pump and injectors are present. The spark ignition engine, the initial price is quite low when compared to a diesel engine or the CI engine, whereas in CI engine the initial price of engine is quite high as compared to the SI engine. The construction of SI engine is simpler compared to the construction design of compression ignition engine. Now we shall study the difference between four-stroke and two-stroke engines. The first difference is, in four-stroke engine, 4 strokes of a piston complete one cycle, whereas in two-stroke engine, two strokes of piston complete one cycle. You all may be knowing that what constitutes a cycle. Four strokes, they complete a cycle. And what are these four strokes? Suction stroke, compression stroke, power stroke, and exhaust stroke. So these four strokes complete one engine cycle. The second difference is two rotation of crankshaft complete one cycle, whereas in two-stroke engine, one rotation of crankshaft completes one cycle. The third difference is that for a four-stroke engine, weight per horsepower is more as compared to that of a two-stroke engine. In four-stroke engine, diesel, petrol, gas, kerosene can be used as fuel, whereas in two-stroke engine, only petrol can be used as fuel. In a four-stroke engine, the crankcase is open, whereas in two-stroke engine, the crankcase is closed and sealed. The sixth difference is that in a four-stroke engine, intake and exhaust valves are present, whereas in two-stroke engine, inlet and exhaust ports are present instead of the valves. The ports are basically holes through which inlet and exhaust operations are conducted. The seventh difference is that the specific fuel consumption is quite less, around 225 grams per kilowatt hour in case of four-stroke engine, whereas SFC is higher in two-stroke engine and is around 440 grams per kilowatt hour. The eighth difference is that the crank can rotate in only one direction, whereas in two-stroke engines, the crank can rotate in both directions. So, due to this ability, two-stroke engines are commonly used in marine applications. The compression ratio in a four-stroke engine is higher than that present in two-stroke engine. The tenth difference is the thermal efficiency of a four-stroke engine is higher than that of a two-stroke engine. The 11th difference is that in a four-stroke engine, less lubricating oil is required, whereas in two-stroke engine, more lubricating oil is required. This is because in two-stroke engine, the lubricating oil is mixed with the fuel, which in turn lubricates the walls of the cylinder. Whereas in four-stroke engine, the lubricating oil is present separately in the crankcase for lubricating the walls of the cylinder. Now further, you can see that both SI and CI engine can work either on two-stroke or four-stroke cycle. Both the cycles have been described below. Four-stroke engine. In the four-stroke engine, the cycle of operation of the engine are completed in four strokes of the piston inside the cylinder. The four strokes of the four-stroke engine are suction of fuel, compression of fuel, expansion or power stroke, and exhaust stroke. In 4-stroke engine, the power is produced when piston performs expansion stroke. During 4 strokes of the engine, 2 revolutions of engine crankshaft are produced. Now in case of 2-stroke, the suction and compression stroke occur at the same time. Similarly, the expansion and exhaust strokes occur at the same time. Power is produced during the expansion stroke. When 2 strokes of the piston are completed, 1 revolution of engine crankshaft is produced. In a 4-stroke engine, the engine burns fuel once for 2 rotation of the flywheel, while in 2-stroke engine the fuel is burnt once for 1 rotation of the flywheel. Hence the efficiency of 4-stroke engine is greater than the 2-stroke engines. However, the power produced by the 2-stroke engine is more than the 4-stroke engines.